Hello, I'm Ann Hillerman, and I'd like to talk to you about some of the issues that are in my new book, Shadow of the Solstice. So, as you all who have read my books may be aware, often items in the news are what give me ideas for my stories. And in the case of Shadow of the Solstice, one issue that was very much in the news was the opening of a uranium mine near the Grand Canyon. And uranium from this mine was going to come across the Navajo Nation. And the Navajo people and the Navajo government were very concerned about this. So this issue was in the news a lot. And there were protests on the Navajo Nation. And all of this made me remember the sad history of uranium with the Navajo people. So the more I thought of this, the more I thought that somewhere in all of this information was the seed of a plot that I could probably use in Shadow of the Solstice. So this then became the story that Jim Chi and Bernadette Manuelito pursue in my new book. So I always need more than one story. So the second story also came from something that was in the news. And that was a Medicaid scam that was based in Phoenix, Arizona. The operators of what are called fake sober living homes, they were on paper anyway, places where people who were struggling with addiction could go and get treatment. And while they were in treatment, they would be housed and given food and basically kept safe until they had sobered up. Well, none of this happened. There were white vans that were traveling through the Navajo Nation. They would pick up homeless people, people outside of health clinics, people who really looked like they needed some help, and promised them that they would get help. But unfortunately, what actually happened was that these people were then basically tricked into signing over their Medicaid benefits to these illegitimate operators who then took the money and basically didn't do anything to help these people. And when the people realized that they had been tricked and wanted to go home, the fake sober home people said, "Oh, well, sorry, you're on your own now." And they were just released or sometimes even escaped from these fake sober homes and were left on their own to try to figure out how to get back to the Navajo Nation. In addition to Navajos, there were also people from other tribes who were involved in this scheme and just some other homeless people, but the majority of them were Navajo people. Well, thankfully, the Navajo Nation set up something called Operation Rainbow Bridge, where the Navajo police came to Phoenix and really did everything they could to help these people get home again. So this fake sober living story was a story in which I was able to involve one of my favorite, subsidiary characters, Brini Manuelito's sister, Darlene. So in Shadow of the Solstice, Darlene is working as a home health aide, and the lady for whom she's working disappears. And eventually Darlene discovers that this woman and her grandson have been taken on one of these white vans, taken to Phoenix. So then Darlene decides that she should do whatever she can to make sure that this woman is safe. So those were two of the ideas that led to me writing Shadow of the Solstice. And it was a challenge, I have to say, but I really enjoyed being able to take these real life issues and turn them into fiction and give them all a better ending than a lot of these stories had in real life.